Hi there. Welcome to the Radiant Souls podcast. And I'm Matt Langauer. I am a life coach and energy healing mentor, and I'm happy to be with you here today. Today, I'm going to acknowledge something that maybe I don't give enough attention to in some of my other content. And I know a lot of people that post stuff about healing and personal growth and spiritual growth maybe don't pay enough attention to. And that is that healing is messy AF. Okay? So, this is my full disclosure that when you choose to heal and when you choose to grow, it's not this beautiful path forward. So you may have heard it said that healing is not linear, that it has many ups and downs. And I would say yes, and I would also just add it's messy AF. Okay. So obviously, with all my content and all the offerings I do, I'm speaking from my own experience. So, depending on what you're working to heal, it can feel very freeing and expansive, like a huge weight off your shoulders. Um, but when you dig deep into some core wounds, so core wounds being those things that occurred early in childhood, like as a result of usually with interactions or perceptions of caregivers or people that you trust and people that you love, it can manifest mess in different ways. So, as a Cancer rising myself, I of course love to just dive right into the deep end of the mess, just right into it. And healing seems like a great idea at the time. I'm like, yes, I discovered something messy. Let's clean it up. Let's clean it up. Yes, that's my next. Let's go for it. Cancer is also a cardinal sign, so it's very much like start it. Let's go. Let's go. But then sometimes when we're in it, we're like, oh God, okay, I'm just going to retreat. But you are faced with something that frustrates you, okay? And you don't like it. It doesn't work for you anymore. You want change and you want growth. You want to be in a better place. Awesome. So you dive into that pool to learn to be a better swimmer, right? The water will feel refreshing. It's going to be great. That whole zero gravity feeling, it's going to help me feel lighter. It's going to be fun. I'm going to get some low impact exercise. Yeah. So you dove into this healing pool and realized all of a sudden, wow, this is actually uncomfortably very cold. It sent a shock wave through your system just from the temperature of the water. And now someone else's hair is sticking to your fingers, that feeling. And now it's raining, and it's this weird feeling of not wanting to be rained on up here, but you're immersed in water here. And then now your skin's kind of reacting to the chemicals that are in the pool. And guess what? Now someone has peed in the pool. So I would say that that's probably a more accurate representation of the healing process, of the healing pool that you're swimming in. Okay. Also, you're welcome for the free sensory triggers. I know the gross, what gets me is the hair more than the pee. Um, so, yes, healing isn't glamorous. It isn't cute little meditation in Bali or on top of a majestic mountain. Now, don't get me wrong, those can be great environments. Those can be really conducive to growth and awakening. But sometimes those adventures can exploit local culture and and the land that it's in as well. So, but the core of true healing is facing those inner demons that are taunting the inner child that you always carry with you and doing battle in like the weirdest ways. So let's say, for example, that you want to heal a part of you that feels weird about meeting people in social settings. Like it's just always uncomfortable. You get sweaty. You suddenly don't remember how to form a sentence. I mean, I don't think any of us can ever remember someone's name. Convinced of that. But yeah, you just can't like the small talk just drives you crazy. Like, how many times can you ask about your travel and how was your weekend and what are you doing this weekend and the weather? Ugh. So suddenly you're opening old wounds just thinking about this. situation that you're going to be in. Um, these old wounds are maybe you were bullied when you were younger for how you looked in front of people, what you wore, or how you talked, how you walked, your skin color, your religion, the type of food you ate. So suddenly you have this vivid memory of a parent telling you to be quiet when you were just trying to tell them a really joyful, fun story, or at least you thought, but their energy was spent at the time. In these scenarios, we internalize some sort of limiting belief when that happens. We all do it. It's totally normal because we are interpreting it through a child's lens. And that is core beliefs like, I am not worthy. I'm not lovable. I'm only accepted or loved if XYZ conditions are met. So then a floodgate opens of all of these unmet needs when you're just thinking about being in an awkward social situation. And like unmet needs from exes, from friends, from bosses that you had to tolerate that were just horrible people, things that you didn't stand up for when you wanted to. Your healing pool that you're swimming in suddenly becomes a wave pool and you can't keep afloat. But that wave doesn't last forever. It just needs to flush its way out. So our brains create, and this is real biology, our brains create little roads connecting all of these memories and all of this messaging together. It links them, even if logically they're not linked at all. One has nothing to do with the other, but we somehow made a connection and our brains kept it that way. And it keeps firing in those roads. The cars keep driving on those roads when we don't want them to. So, as healing adults, the ones who want to take responsibility for our own healing, we have to pave new roads. New roads while accepting that the old ones still exist and we may still be using them without judgment. Try. Those old roads get us where we needed to go back then. They were helpful, they kept us safe, they helped us complete a task. They helped us get through a situation because we had no other options or we thought we didn't. We didn't know of any at the time. So thank you, old roads. And now we are grateful that we can work on new ones, new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking about self and our relation to others and our relation to the world and to the universe and to the divine. So great. Now we've explored and we've started to heal. Maybe you had an amazing journaling experience or a session with a life coach. Um, and then that following weekend, when you want to reward yourself, you find yourself with low energy and depressed, and you wanted to go have a coffee or a nice lunch, and there was no parking, and you're getting irritable. Um, there was a long wait. You said, forget it. I don't want it. I don't deserve it. I'm sick of it. I don't want to be around people. I just want to go home. You just start getting irritable AF. Every little thing seems to go wrong. And by the end of the day, you're cussing out your neighbor's dogs who are always unleashed, always unattended. Me, I'm talking about me. This actually happens to me. See how messy? My healing is messy too. It happens to all of us. I am messy. That's all part of the ugly process of healing work. And sometimes we just need to accept the roller coaster because the other end of this will be so worth it. Think about something you have accomplished that was hard and it felt like there's no way I can do this. I've never done this before. And then you did it and you're like, okay, yeah, I did that. And then you do it more and more and you're like, oh, no big deal. It's the same thing with healing and personal growth. Again, I'm not saying it's always going to be easy. I'm not saying it's always going to be done in a week, but it will be so worth it on the other end because the more you align with your personal growth and that inner divine self, the more you're going to feel comfortable and at peace with the direction your life is taking, no matter what's going on. So we set things in motion, um, and then we get in these moods along the way. We acknowledge them as human. We try our best to accept them as part of us. It's helpful to check in with our bodies when that's going on and just say, what do I need in this moment? Take a breath and then ask, what do I need in this moment? Because your ego is going to be like, get the F out of here, punch that person in the face, kick that dog. Take a breath and then say, maybe helpful to put your hand on your heart and go in here and say, what do I need in this moment? Alone time, a task, a chore, something to do with my hands, gardening, cleaning, wash the dishes, cook some food, do a puzzle, paint, journal, take a walk, take a nap. Inner healing work takes a lot of energy and it continues while we're doing other things. It doesn't just stop when we get out of the coaching session. It doesn't stop when you close the journal after doing some deep work. It doesn't happen in a container. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's connected to everything in our life. Everything's connected. Those roads that we just started paving, they haven't dried. They need to settle. We can't drive on them continuously yet. We're still trying to navigate that. Traffic is still going to be awkward for a bit. And especially for someone who lives in Cleveland, it's always under construction. Always. So the good news is that we are built for this. Our bodies, our minds, our spirits, they're so resilient and so adaptable at any age. All those pathways, those neural pathways I'm talking about in the brain, from birth to death, you can change those. You can change it. I think this process may feel increasingly more uncomfortable and unending as time goes on and as we evolve as humans, because of all the instant gratification that we get in the world today. I think as tech advances, and the resources, the commercial resources out there fight to be available to you faster than their competition, better than their competition, or offering this, all these packages, this, that, all that crap. We will expect our healing to kind of be the same, to be just as quick, as just saying yes to it, as if we click on it and it's done. We can't Apple Pay our way through. We can't tap to pay our way through healing. We have to pay the price. We have to work. So, like our physical bodies take time to heal cuts and infections, like our emotions and our spiritual wounds, our core wounds also take that time. So give yourself some time. Give yourself that grace. We are grateful that healing is already happening. Your healing pool is free of pee. It is free of hair. We are so happy to be in that pool. We are so happy that we are learning to swim. And we're going to be expert swimmers. We're going to be Olympic swimmers by the time we get done with it. So that's it for this one. Kind of short and sweet, just a little encouragement. So like I said, I am a life coach. If you're interested in working with me, please head to my website, weareradiantsouls.com, and take a look at my offerings page and see what resonates. I also have a blog with this similar content that I just spoke on. And I hope to see you around and even subscribe to my newsletter so you can get the updates. So thank you very much and keep on shining your light. Mwah.